Hi, thanks for watching my Ducati Monster 1100 rear brake service. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I need the money. So today we're going to flush the brake fluid through the system of the rear brakes on a Ducati 1100. You see the brake fluid is absolutely the wrong color. This is original from 2009. And the tool I'm using here is a Mighty Vac vacuum pump. If you don't have a Mighty Vac pump in your toolkit, please go to your Harbor Freight store and get one right now. All I did was took my Mighty Vac and I sucked out that old brown fluid from the reservoir, and I took a shop rag and put it into the reservoir and cleaned it up a little bit and got the residue out from the inside of there. And then I'm going to refill the reservoir with fresh .4. Doesn't matter what brand you use. You can get the cheap stuff at Walmart. It's going to work the same as the good stuff. I'm only using this motorcycle .4 because it was very cheap. And here's where I messed up. So I'm pulling off my little rubber cover. Make sure that this cap goes back onto your valve when you do this job. You don't want dirt getting up into that valve. When I put the tires on in another video you can watch, I was going to bleed the brakes then, the rear brakes then, but then I put the wheel back on and I forgot, and I thought, well, I'll be able to get to it. But then once I started working on it with the wheel in place, there wasn't much room to turn the wrench, and then I was afraid of getting brake fluid on the wheel and not being able to get all the brake fluid residue off the wheel, and .4 will destroy the paint. So I figured it was just safer if I pull the wheel off and do this with the wheel out of the way. And it is a lot easier to do this with the wheel out of the way. From the looks of it, the chain has a lot of slack in it also. I should probably address that as my next project when I make it out to the garage again. So I'm just sucking the new fluid through the system. I didn't completely flush the system on this because I should be able to get most of that brown fluid out just by pulling the reservoir of fluid through the system. So as I'm pumping, I'm watching the reservoir and making sure that I don't suck all the new fluid out of the reservoir, because then I'll be totally bleeding the system and getting air out. So right now I've got just over half of the reservoir of fluid pulled through the system. And anytime you work on your brake system, make sure you get all of the .4 off of everything. So if there's residue on that bleeder valve, make sure that you get it dry, completely dry. So we're going to top off the reservoir, and I overfilled it. You don't want to overfill your reservoir. Try to keep it just below the high line. When the brake fluid heats up, it expands. So if it does expand in your reservoir, it'll make your brake pads drag on the rotor. We absolutely don't want that. So like I said, yeah, don't overfill your reservoirs ever. So I'm going to take it back to just below the full line. And then we'll put our little diaphragm in. It's a good idea to clean up, to dry off that little black diaphragm that goes into the reservoir. And typically when you pull these apart, you're going to find that there's moisture in the cap as well. So dry all that moisture up and then put your cap on. And that's pretty much all there is to bleeding your rear brake system. You're going to need an 11mm wrench and a Mighty Vac tool. And I just want to say thanks for watching my video and subscribe to my channel if you would please.